What's going on, guys? So I will be with you in a second. I'm still trying to determine which one of these I'm going to wear. It's feeling like a hat day today. I don't know if I should go with the white one. I'm feeling red today. Well, it's not really red. It's more like red and black. I may just say like forget both of them, and then we'll just go from there. And I'll just do the video like I guess I normally do it without a hat, except for when I actually have a hat. You know, let's just get started on the video. What's going on, guys? I am back, another day, another video. So at this point of my renowned YouTube career, realistically, I only have like 4 videos at this point. So it's not really renowned, I guess. I stand corrected, I have 5. Mama, I made it. Anyways, I've been promoting programming like a madman. Apparently all 5 times. Nonetheless, my goal has been to show all the cool things that you can do when you become a developer. All the ideas you can bring to life, all the ways you can write code to send spam emails to your friends. Up until now, the idea has been that everyone wants to learn how to code. Because, well, that's kind of true. Well, in reality, it's about 90% true. I never stop to consider the 10% of people who aren't sure if development is where they want to go. I guess it's possible that some of you may think development is too hard for me, I'm not coding. Typically, I'm not for talking against people getting into the field. Having said that, for those of you that fall within that 10%, today we're going to talk about why you shouldn't code. If you're unsure whether or not this field is for you, this video should provide some clarity. But before that, I'm actually kind of hungry, so I'm going to get a snack. And I would offer you some, but you know, I'm here, you're there, it really wouldn't work out, so. So the first reason not to code would be that you hate sitting at your desk for long periods of time. And if I'm completely honest, sitting at your desk for long periods of time is even frustrating for a developer. However, most devs I know are okay just taking a walk every now and again, only to come back and sit in their desk for another 4 to 5 hours. Realistically, sitting at your desk for long periods of time will be unavoidable given the nature of the job. When you're writing code, ironically enough, there's not much reason to get up and go anywhere. You don't necessarily have to get up and go work with anyone to write your code. It's more of a solo act. That's unless you are doing pair programming. For those of you who do not know what pair programming is, I won't go into much detail, but essentially it's what the name implies. And that actually turned out to be very little detail, but for some reason I think you guys will get the point still. More often than not, you're not having to attend multiple meetings or interface with a lot of business users. For the most part, given your situation, developers will have to primarily work with business analysts. And that's mainly because the business analyst will have the feature requirements that the developer needs to implement within a system. All in all, you're at your desk a lot. So if that's not the life you want to live, just pass on programming. The second reason why you should not code is if you need a heavy dose of social interaction on your job. Not to sound all melodramatic, but coding can be a fairly isolated task. I mean, we just talked about how you're sitting at your desk a lot, and usually you're by yourself with your headphones on. Now, if you're more introverted like me, then being by yourself for long periods of time really isn't that big of an issue. But if you are fairly extroverted, then coding may not be the path that you want to choose. Obviously, there are a lot of jobs out there where you will heavily work with a lot of people to create solutions or implement conceptualized ideas. And granted, there are times where developers will collaborate with one another, hence like the pair programming or working with the business analyst. But for the most part, it is a solo act. I've had days where I've literally come into the office, sat at my desk, and never talked to a coworker the whole day. Now, part of that could be the idea that I just don't really like other people, but that idea would be false because I do enjoy people. A lot. Within reason. I'd imagine that you're already feeling love. Realistically, a normal working day for me looks a lot like this. Obviously, when I'm in the office, I'm not at my kitchen island. And there's no refrigerator full of goodies to add a little bit of happiness to my day. As stated before, social interaction is not a huge part of a developer's workday. And if for you need a lot of social interaction, maybe you want to do something other than coding. So that's 2 reasons, right? And the only reason I'm asking is because I don't want to give you too many reasons not to get in the field, because the main reason for this channel is to push people into the field. Well, not literally push you, that's a little aggressive. I'm more trying to pressure you. Well, not literally pressure you either. I'm more trying to encourage you. And I don't want you to watch this video. That's not true. I'd actually appreciate it if you watch this a lot because that would really, really help me. But the point is, I don't want to turn you off completely. I just want to make some things a little bit clearer. So by my count, that's 2 reasons. I'm going to give you one more, and because I don't want to turn you completely off, one more and then we're out of here. The third and final reason why you should not code is if you're not a person who likes challenges. If you're someone who gets deflated by the idea of a good challenge, someone who would despise the idea of having to walk away from a problem to clear your head before you can come back and actually solve it, someone who wants everything to work the first time around. I could go on and on and on, but I think you kind of get my point. If you're this type of someone, programming may not be your field. What is kind of weird though is all those things I've listed, some of them apply to me too, because I actually would like it to work the first time around, but I understand that it probably won't. And I hate the idea of walking away from a problem before I can solve it to clear my head, but I do it all the time because it works consistently. So all in all, I guess that means you should take my advice with a grain of salt. I can honestly say that there are very few jobs that can be as equally frustrating as they are rewarding. Programming definitely falls within that group. While you can't practically create anything given your skill level, sometimes the road to seeing that creation realized is akin to when your mother used to make you eat peas right before you could eat your dessert. That is unless you actually like peas. I personally hated them. But the point is that it's frustrating. A lot of times, if you examine a developer's desk, you may see a few similar things. You may see a stress ball. You may see like a few action figures or toys, even though we're not kids. And you may see some headphones. Some developers have all 3 of these. Some developers may just have 1 of them. However, many times these are essentials to successful development. You may be asking, why would these be useful for good development? So I'm going to break it down. Every now and again, as a developer, you feel like software has a mind of its own. You feel like you've coded everything correctly and you're encountering unexpected errors for no reason. After about an hour and a half of debugging and analyzing, you're still getting the same stupid errors. Over time, you may have thought about picking up your keyboard and smashing it against the wall. But that wouldn't make a lot of sense because you purchased that keyboard with your money, unless it was a gift from somebody in which you could smash it against the wall because you didn't pay for it. But I'm not a proponent of that because that was a gift. So now you're stuck, right? Because you can't smash your keyboard because that wouldn't make any sense. That'd be silly. But then you notice on your desk you have a stress ball that you can choke all the life out of. In the end, a $2 stress ball probably saved you $150 that you would have spent in having to buy a new keyboard. This idea is very similar to the other items you may see on the dev's desk, headphones and toys. These items are there to keep you level-headed, to give you a little bit of positivity to focus on in those situations where the software has decided that its purpose is to screw you around. Having great music playing in your ear or just having a cool character you can look at will slide you right through the stressful times. All in all, because it feels like I'm ranting a little bit, if you're really not up for a good challenge and you don't want to have to go to battle a lot, programming may not be the field for you. And like I said, I don't really like the idea of pushing people away from the field. But for those of you that fall within that 10% group, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight. Having said all that, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, watching the video. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell icon, all that jazz, and I will see you on next time.